Hey guys, it's Chandra, and I'm gonna do a tutorial of this folio that I made using this Belle Rossi or Rossi Belle, I don't know, the Prima collection folio that I made. So I actually did kind of a written tutorial. I'm gonna try to see if my stupid scanner will actually scan it to my computer and put it up tonight on my blog. It just has the stuff written down and kind of like pictures. I don't know if it'll help anybody, but that's what I've done. So we'll see how that goes. So as always, I'll give you the measurements for everything that you need first, and then we'll go through the scoring and the assembly. So I hope you have your pens ready. I'll give you a second. Okay, so you're going to need one 8x8. You'll need two 7x8s, two 6.5 by 4 1/4, two 5.5 by 8 1/2, two 7.5 by 8s, two 6 3/4 by 4 1/4, two 5 3/4 by 8 1/2, and then you're going to need one 9 by 2 1/2, one 9 by 3, one 9 by 3 1/2, one 9 by 4, and one 9 by 4 1/2. That's for the actual folio. The tags that go inside the folio, you're going to need one that measures 8 1/2 by 7 3/4, and then one that measures 7 3/4 by 3 3/4, 7 3/4 by 4 3/4, 7 3/4 by 5 3/4, 7 3/4 by 6 3/4, and 7 3/4 by 7 3/4. That's if you want those tags on the back to stagger in here. Because the pockets are different sizes, so I made the tags all different sizes. So if you want them to stagger in here, if you want them all to be the same size, you can cut them all at, 7 3/4 by 7 3/4, and then it will be full like that. Okay. All right. So the 8. Let's see if you guys can see everything. Let me see if I can. I don't think you need to see the inch marks because I'm actually telling you what they are. So the first sheet that measures 8 by 8, that is going to be the back of the folio, and you're not going to score anything on that. The first sheet that we're going to score is the one that measures 7 by 8. So stick it in the scoreboard so that the 7-inch side is going across the top of the scoreboard. And so when I say stick it into the scoreboard so that the 7-inch side is at the top, that's what I mean. The measurement of the paper. So this is the 7-inch side, and it's at the top. If I would say 8-inch, it would be 8 inches at the top. But so we're going to stick it in so that the scoreboard is 7 inches at the top, and we're going to score at 1/2 inch, and then at 1 1/2. And you're going to do that to both sheets that measure 7 by 8. So again, it's 7-inch side at the top. You're going to score at 1/2 inch, and then at 1 1/2. And this is what's going to create your folio. So the 6.5 inch side, we're going to score at 1/2 inch, and then at 6. Rotate it. It doesn't matter which way you rotate it, but you're going to rotate it so that the 4.5 inch side is at the top, and you're going to score at 1/2 inch. You're going to do that to both those sheets. So on the 4.5 inch side, you're going to score at 1/2 inch, and on the 6.5 inch side, you're going to score at 1/2 and 6. All right, so you're going to need two 5.5 by 8 1/2, and I'll find them when I'm done, I'm sure. So that you're going to stick it in so that the 8.5 inch side is at the top, and you're going to score at 1/2 inch, and you're going to do that to both. The 7.5 by 8 is the piece that you're going to work with next. And you're going to want the 7.5 inch side at the top, and you're going to score at 1/2 inch, and then 3/4 inch. And you're going to do that to both pieces. So the 7.5 inch side is at the top, score at 1/2, and then 3/4. The next piece is 6 3/4 by 4 1/4. That's not it. That's these. So this one you're going to score at the 6 3/4 inch side at 1/2 inch. You're going to do that to both of them. This is basically a mirror. Whatever happens on the left side is happening on the right side. And the 5 3/4 by 8 1/2, you're going to stick it in so that the 8 1/2 inch side is at the top. You're going to score at 1/2 inch, and then at 3/4. And the reason why I'm doing that is because it creates a little gusset up here, just so there's more room for stuff to be in there. So again, the 8.5 inch side is at the top. I'm going to score at 1/2 inch and then 3/4. What I'm going to be doing is cutting all the pockets. And these are very, very simple. The pockets just need to be scored 1/2 inch on 3 sides. So you're going to stick it in. It doesn't matter. You need to score 1/2 inch on 1 long and 2 short sides, okay? So the 9.5 inch, or the 9 inch side is at the top. You're going to score it 1/2 inch and an 8.5, and then rotate it and score it 1/2 inch. And you're going to do that to all 5 of these. So again, 9 inch side, 1/2 inch, 8.5, rotate it, score at 1/2 inch. So my mom went today to get a CT scan, and we go next Thursday to find out the status of her cancer, because she had 1 round of chemo and 30 days of radiation. So she had radiation every day for 30 days, and then she had 3 weeks of chemo every day. So hopefully, we know it shrank a little bit, but hopefully it's gone, you know, because that's what you want. I'm just folding on all my score marks right now and burnishing them down. And you want to make sure that you're folding straight, because these pockets and everything line up with each other. So as I chat with you, because I'm going to do this real time, I am going to just fold on all the score marks on everything, and then I will put score tape on all the flaps. Alright, so I just went through and, you know, folded on my score lines and burnished down the fold marks. So now this is where I'm going to apply. I like to do stuff in an assembly line. I like to apply the score tape now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of zoom you in and show you on some of these pieces where you need to do the score tape. Because like this piece is the 5.5 by 8. 5.5 by 8.5, where we scored 1/2 inch and then we scored at 1.5. So there's a 1/2 inch and then there's a 1.5 inch fold in there. We want to apply the score tape on the 1/2 inch flap. So we have the 1/2 inch score mark and then the 1/4 inch score mark. You're going to want to put these on the 1/2 inch score mark. Yes, I'm up. This has a 1/2 inch and then a 1/4 inch again score mark. So we're going to put it on the 1/2 inch, which is the outside flap. I can't sleep tonight. I'm too busy trying to figure out how to make tomorrow right. It's too soon to celebrate. These are the pockets, so I'm applying it to all the folds, and then we'll cut these out in a minute. And these are the small pockets, and again, I'm applying it on the 1/2 inch flap there. Guess I'm doing better than before, but still I got a long way, and just maybe one day we'll be there at the top of the stage, like the 4th of July. So I'm just going to cut out the little square that's formed by these 2 fold marks, and I'm doing it at an angle to the point in the paper. So I'm just going to cut that out of all sides of the pockets. Not all sides of the pockets, but on the bottom of the pocket, on all of the pockets. so I cut off the squares on all the pockets down here, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut at an angle and on these flaps where we've added the tape.
Not today, I can't have fun. Too busy trying to figure out how to make my dreams become reality. That's what
Now we're going to assemble. I have all of these folded on the score marks and the tape applied. So I will start assembling, and we're going to attach most everything. Let me zoom back out for you. Most everything to this 8x8 square. All right, so like I said before, I'm going to be attaching the two sides to the 8x8 base. So the pieces that I'm working with right now are the 7x8 inch pieces that we scored at half and 1.5. So what I've done is I folded this part back with the tape, and I'm just going to line up this fold with the cut of the paper. And you want to make sure that you line it up right so that it will open up, since we're putting it on there backwards. And then what you want to do is burnish it down so that the tape stays. So this is going to be the cover. Okay. So I'm doing that. It's the exact same thing to both sides. Gracie was on my desk and now there's a cat hair. Would you stop bugging me? Alright, so we've got the two flaps attached. Now everything else is going to be attached to these two pieces. So we're going to do the pockets on the front flap first. So those are, oh, you know what? We have to cut stuff. I'm using the Big Shot. And I'll move this out of the way. I'll show you how I line it up on this. You don't really need to see me cranking it through. So I use the dies. They're the wavy scallop stitches from Simon Says Stamp. And I use this big one here. And you're going to need some score tape. Not score tape, some washi tape. Even though this is the magnetic pad, I think I need to get new cutting mats because they're bowed up and so they're not flat. So it doesn't do a very good job at holding down the dies to the magnetic plate. Alright, so I'm going to flip the plate this way so that you guys can see. So this is the pocket, and this is right here. This is the pocket here. So what I'm going to do is just line the die up on the pocket, kind of tape it down, and I'm kind of de-sticking it just a little bit because sometimes they can get too sticky and rip this paper here. So I'm just laying the die down, and I'm lining up the sides here, and I'm trying to get it close to the top. You know what I mean? Like the edge of the die is right there on that paper. Let's see. If I zoom in, if that helps any. So I'm just lining this up on top of the pocket, and now I'm going to put the washi on there, sandwich it, and then run it through the Big Shot. And I'm going to take off, and you'll have it connected still to the sides like that. So just cut at an angle and remove it. And I totally did that wrong. Now my pocket's going to be too small. I put the die on there upside down. The die's got to go like this with the scallops up. There. So it doesn't really matter. You can make your pocket as big or as small as you want. So the scallops need to go up, Chandra. For real this time. Taking off the die. Okay. So I'm still cutting at an angle to get rid of it. And that. Cutting at an angle on this flap here. And that is the wavy pocket that I did. So now let's do the second pocket. Scallops go up. On this particular die, I mean, if your die is different, then I don't know how you would line it up, but on this particular die. I ran out of shows to watch on Netflix, so I mean, I like The Green Arrow. It's alright, but it's like not my favorite show. So that's what I was watching today. Alright, so there's the second one. And so these are the little pages right here. Right here that I'm doing. So again, I'm just lining up the edge of the paper here, lining up my die on the edge of it. It doesn't matter where, like if you like the look more of the big wave going up, I mean, you just place it on there wherever you want it and attach it down. There we go. Zoom back out now. So then it'll be like that. So there's that one, there's another one, here's another one. Again, I'm just putting it on there, lining it up with the edge of the paper. This one I did measure so that when you don't cut it, that you can put a 4x6 picture on it. So if you have a problem with cutting your 4x6 pictures down, you probably want to make this, I would say 7 inches instead of 6 3/4 long. So there's that one. And then we have this big one here, and it went all the way across. Didn't have any problems with it. So I'm just lining that up there. Maybe I don't know why I do, but I do. Alright, so there's that one. And this one. And I can't remember if I did the other one. I'll have to check the book. I know I did these flaps, but I don't know if I did the other ones too. So it's really easy to. So there's that. So again, I think my magnetic board will work better when I get new plates that aren't so curvy. So that's why I have to tape it down, but normally I don't think I would have to tape it down. But my plates are well loved. And this is the last one that I did. And then what I did was I just used the smaller scallops in this set. And now we're going to put the album thing together, because I'm dropping paper everywhere. So the first thing that we need to attach is the pockets that we did, and these are the 6.5 by 4.5 pieces. So I'm going to remove the tape backing on all 3 sides, and I'm going to fold in so they're on each other in the back, and I'm just going to line it up. You want to make sure that you're not over this fold mark here, and if you measured and cut correctly, you should not be, and scored correctly, I guess I should say, because we know I can't do it straight. Lining it up against the right, lining it up against the left, and now I'm going to burnish it down. I'm also going to fold my page just to make sure and burnish it that way. So this is my pocket. Now we have one of these long flaps on that as well, and that is the 5.5 by 8 inch piece, and we're going to adhere it on the top. So I want my score tape off, folding it down, and now I'm going to line up this cut edge with this folded edge here, and I'm also making sure I don't go over the score mark on the left side. And I have to get my hair in there. Okay, and I'm lining that up. Now here's the thing, if you don't line this up exactly or you don't cut exactly, it's fine. Just flip it over, and if you have any that's hanging out, you can just trim it. It's not really that big of a deal, and I actually don't. I think so. So now we're going to do the left side. So we're going to attach this the same way we just did. So taking off the tape backing, And this is how I just flip these two sides down, and then I flip the bottom up on top of it. It just makes it easier to attach one piece with that stuff flopping around. So again, I'm going to try to zoom in here and show you what I mean. Alright, so right here's the score mark, as you can see, and I'm lining this up just on the left side of the score mark, just like barely a hair. And then this goes on the bottom and this goes on the side. And if you line it up too far over, it'll hang off the other side. So it's kind of a give or take. Now, as I burnish it down and then realize it's not straight. So, whatever. It's going to be easy to get off. But this right here is sticking out from when we cut it. So I'm going to do that. And that's going to bother me from the other side because look, you can see that pocket's totally crooked. Oh, golly. So you can just rip it off or use your undo. I don't know. I get this at Michael's actually, but you just use a little bit and you just squeeze the bottle and it goes in there, and then this will dry back up and it'll be sticky again. So again, that's called undo. And it takes off, it's acid free and photo safe. I've used it on a picture like once. It says great for removing grease, tar, gum, candle wax, and more. So once this dries, I'll be able to stick it back on there. So while that's drying, I'm going to take the second pocket, or the second flap. It's 5.5 by 8.5, and we're going to attach it to the top of this page here. And again, I'm going to line it up just a smidgen on the left and get my head in the way high so I can line it up on the top. There we go. Flip it over. For some reason, this one seems a little bit longer. I suppose if you cut your measurements like down by 1/8 of an inch or a smidgen or a 1/16 or a 32nd or something. Oh, it's sticky now. So I'm going to lift the flap up. It's kind of big to get in one shot. I'm going to lift the flap up and I'm going to attach the pocket, and hopefully we do it right this time. And here we go, here we go. Looks like I'm going to have to edit this video because it is already at 36 minutes. I don't know why. I'm trying to go slow because some people said I go too fast, so I am trying to go slower. Yes, it kills me. Alright, so there's that. So now we need to attach these pages in there. And these are the ones that are 7.5 by 8.5. So just going to fold, take off the score tape, and I'm lining it up on the right side of the score mark. So this is the 8 by 8 pattern. I'm lining it up on the right of the score mark, making sure it's lined up on the bottom. And push it down, get the second one out. Do the same thing, but it's going to be on the left of that score mark there instead of on the right because it's on the right side. So there we go. And these had the 1/4 inch gussets as well. So this will stick up just a little bit. You can see that. There's that. That's there. So now, forgetted what I did. Alright, so on the front of this pocket here is where I put these little 6 3/4 by 4 1/4 pocket or flaps. I keep on calling them pockets. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line up this folded edge with the folded edge of the score mark, but not this. There's a 1/4 inch here, so we're going to line it up with the outside one. And it doesn't matter where you put it. You can put it in the middle. You can measure it, eyeball it, do what you want. And now we're going to attach this side as well. Just make sure I'm doing everything right here. Again, I'm lining up the fold on this. Let me zoom so you can see. This is the 1-inch gusset of the actual binding. This is the 1/4-inch gusset that we just attached. So we're going to line this up right there on the outside of that 1/4-inch gusset mark. So then that creates a flap, 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 flap. All right, so now we need to go to the middle. So these are the two that measure 5 3/4 by 8 1/4. So we're going to attach these to the top here, and I attached one all the way over on the left. And again, there's a 1/4-inch gusset right here. So the tape's on the 1/2-inch flap. So we're taking that 1/2-inch flap with this line, this folded edge here, and we're going to line that against the top and against the side here where there's a score mark. You can see the score. This is a cut piece of paper, so you're going to see that score mark right there. That's what we're going to line it up. I'm going to just tilt it a little bit crooked. Let me zoom back out so you can see what I'm doing here. But I'm going to tilt it crooked so I don't have to get my head in the shot. Not that I care that you see my hair. I don't care. So again, lining it up on the side and against the top so that it's straight. I'm going to open that flap up, and I'm going to line the second one up as well. I'm just refolding, but this time I'm going to line it up against this score mark in the top. My son's home from work. Okay, so you're going to open that up, and now we're going to attach all those pockets that we made. So how I attached them, I stuck the largest pocket down first. So I'm going to put these in order. So I put them on my right. I'm going to flip them upside down because I did the largest pocket first. So this is a large pocket, and you can cut the top of the pockets at an angle if you wish. I don't know that I've ever had a huge problem with papers or anything getting stuck in there. To be honest with you, I don't. They get stuck more on the sides than they do the bottom or the top, so I don't know. I'm going to put this up. So what I'm doing is I'm lining these two folded edges up with the score marks. So this 8 by 8 area, and then lining the bottom up with the bottom of the page. So again, you kind of want to make sure that you're in between the score marks so that it opens and closes just fine. He came down here and he's going to tell me something, but I don't know. And see, like, this is messed up. Like, I totally must have scored this one wrong because it's too much over. Not even. So if you do that, and if you can get it up, or if you can't get it up, what I do is I will take a ruler and I will line it up to the score mark that I'm trying to match. And now there's tape on here, so it might get stuck. So you can line it up with the score mark that you already matched. Make sure that it's straight, you know. And then just score again. Just press hard on that paper. And then now you can refold it. And then it won't be sticking outside that score mark. So I don't know, because this is probably 1/8 of an inch. So I jacked up that somehow. And I'm just trying to fold it with my fingers first. Cut off this little piece here and line it up down there. Okay, so it's just an easy fix. I need to see if that one's fine. I don't know what I did. All right, so now we're going to apply this pocket on the next pocket. Now.
Like the 4th of July, we'll go big. Oh, that ain't no lie. But that means no sleeping tonight. I'm up in the middle.
I will do a video on matting if you want me to. I think everybody knows how to mat, but if you want me to do a video on matting this, decorating it, just let me know. I'll be more, whoops, that one is totally crooked. I'll be more than happy to do that. There we go. And here we go. So the reason why I did the 1/4 inch gusset is because you're adding all these pages here. It brings it up about I don't know, 1/4 of an inch. So that way these lay flat in there. Now, like I said, you don't have to do your pockets like that. You could just make a 2" by 9", square it on the 9" side at 1/2 inch and 8.5 inches, and then just kind of line them up here. But like I said, I don't want to do that. So here is the tutorial for the folio. I hope you guys enjoy it and have a great weekend. Bye.